Good morning. Welcome to Wealth Chat. I'm going to call this the real estate edition. Let's get this right. And the question is, should you or should you not screen your tenants? Well, I do run my real estate business and I do apologize, my phone keeps turning here. I don't want to look lopsided to you. But yeah, I run my real estate investment purchases as a business. The name of my business is R&R Investment. Here, let me just hold the phone so we are not going through this. Maybe if I put it here. There we go. And, okay. I run it as a business, as a legitimate business where I file my taxes and everything for my real estate. So the answer to the question is, yes, you want to screen every tenant. And the reason why is because one thing about real estate, and you'll hear me talk about Robert Kiyosaki. I took his real estate course, and he has steps. There's a formula to this. And if you miss one of the steps, it's going to fall through eventually. Good morning. Thank you for joining. And I could tell you a story. I had a tenant. This is the first time I'm starting my investment. I bought a multi-unit, and my first tenant, I was, new at it. And of course, all my steps were in place. I followed the steps and it went perfect. Good morning, Heather. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. And the greatest thing about people, their fear about getting into real estate investing, I'm a buy and hold investor, is dealing with tenants. And I'm going to tell you, tenants can be a nightmare, or they could just be there. That's your income. That's your money. That's your customer, your client. So if you screen your tenants, I'm telling you, it will save you money down the road. If you skip a step, like screening a tenant, you're going to find yourself in trouble. So I had a tenant. I followed all the protocol. I did a background check. I confirmed employment. I confirmed income. She was a perfect tenant. She never paid late. I didn't have any problems out of that tenant. She stayed with me for a year. She moved in with her husband. She already had a child, and she just had a newborn. And it was a 2-bedroom apartment, so I knew that she would outgrow it. And usually what I try to do is have their second place, their bigger apartment or home available when they move, so that way they stay with me. If you find good tenants, you want to keep good tenants. She was perfect. At the end of the year, exactly what I thought would happen happened. She was like, okay, we need to, she had a little boy, and then she had her newborn was a little girl. So she's like, well, we need a bigger place. Do you have anything? And at the time, I did not. So she was, gave me her notice that she was going to move out. And then she calls me. She's like, hey, my mom is looking for a place. Can she apply? Oh, sure. So I'm just going off of the daughter, of how she never paid late. She paid on time every month. I didn't have to call her. She didn't have to call me. Just a perfect way to start in the real estate investing. This perfect way to start out as a landlord. It built my confidence. Oh, this was perfect. Well, the mom, I didn't do a background check. I just assumed that she would be just like her daughter. She's the mother, the fruit from the tree. What could possibly go wrong? I'm going to tell you, I had to evict her mom. Her mom was the worst tenant. Not only the worst tenant, she, like I said, it was a multi-unit, so it had a basement. They had rooms in the basement. She had her son move into the basement, just trashed the place. And then So I had to take her to court to have her evicted. So that was my first eviction, my first and only eviction. And she was a professional tenant that played the system of eviction. So we get to court, she comes to court, and she goes before the judge and says that, hey, because I have an attorney, I have people on my team, but I did go to court because I wanted to see the process. You got to know what takes place in your business. So I come to court, my attorney's there, we're trying to evict her, and she goes before the judge and she's like, oh, I didn't know that I could have legal counsel, which prolonged. The judge gave her an extension. So you definitely want to screen your tenants. It doesn't mean that, a good tenant can turn, have life happen to them. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone who will just destroy your place, not pay you, and then you have you have to evict them. That's an expense. It's just a nightmare. So you definitely want to screen your tenants, whatever it costs to screen your tenants. And actually, I'll put a link below. Life is so easy now with the internet. You could just go online and do research. But yeah, that's today's tip. And I'm going to do a series talking about landlording. But that's my first discussion. You have to screen your tenants. If you don't, it's going to be a big expense to you down the road. So bye for now. See you tomorrow.